My wife cheated on me and lashed out physically when I caught her in the act. We have been having problems in our 5-year marriage for about 2 years now. We have a 3-year-old son, and for the past 2 years, I have to basically take care of him by myself, when we aren't at our jobs in which we have a nanny come by, because she refuses to do anything. When I ask her for some help, she accuses me of limiting a woman's freedom by asking her to be a stay-at-home mom, which isn't true. She just watches TV and hangs out with her friends instead of helping me out. I ask her to at least cut the spending as we need the money to pay the bills, but she makes accusations again. Finally, I got suspicious a week ago and went to one of the bars she goes to and caught her making out with a random stranger. When I confronted her, she accuses me of stalking her and that I have no right to limit her freedom. When I angrily said that she had been cheating and that I would never do that, she starts punching me, which shocked me as she never did that before. The stranger, by the way, also got angry at her since she lied to him that I was just her ex. I ended up taking our kid to stay at my parents' place, where they are encouraging me to file a police report or at least file for divorce. Maybe this is just me venting, but why would she turn physically violent now?
This is another thing, the foolishness of men, right? We're stupid. Men are stupid, right? And I've been there, right? We either never had backbone to begin with, or we lost our backbone during a relationship or marriage. I think it's stupid that he even cares that she hit him, because you shouldn't even think that she was terrible to begin with, it seemed, right? That she didn't respect him, and she thought very little of him. She definitely didn't love him. And he enabled her by never checking her on her attitude, never checking her on her actions, on the things she said to him. He never really put his foot down. He never set his boundaries. That's the problem. That's why these Reddit reactions are important, because it shows you that, look at these are the marriages, these are the relationships where men are not in their masculine. Men are not holding to their boundaries, their preferences, their standards. Men are letting themselves be walked all over by women in a relationship. And what do you think? What do you think men will get in the end in doing that stuff? They will get divorced. They will get heartbroken. They will get their children taken away. They will get their money taken away. They will be destroyed. For what? Okay? You just lost your masculine, and you lost everything else. So you are less of a man now. And what does those lead to usually? Those lead to suicide. Those lead to men just feeling utterly destroyed. And why? And this is exactly why I make these videos, because to wake men up, right? What do you get from being overly, accommodating, trying to please someone so much where it just destroys and chip at yourself? Because it did not help him at all in the relationship. Destroyed financials, destroyed parenting, responsibilities and acts, destroyed his relationship with him and her, right? Physical. She cheated on him. What does it do? What does it do for you to be a doormat for someone? For you to not set boundaries, for you to not have a backbone, not be in your masculinity. I'm not saying for people to be like, the typical buff, tough guy. No, it's just that you have to, to be masculine, be in your, to be masculine, just have a backbone, have boundaries, have preferences, have standards, and live by them. Have morals and live by them. You have principles, stick to them. When you break these principles, break your boundaries, that makes you, in my opinion, less masculine. Right there, because you are caving to someone else's needs and wants, right? You're not standing strong in your views. And that's what I'm talking about when I say masculine. That's my personal view. I mean, people could have something different, but I've heard these stories enough to say that I think this view is very based, right? And again, I hear these stories a lot, and it breaks my heart to hear these men just suffer because of obvious actions they're doing. Men who don't mitigate risk will risk that terrible outcomes, the consequences that will destroy them. You mitigate risk by the controversial take, by controlling, or not controlling, but more but voicing your opinions on, let's say, emotional actions by women, because women are generally emotional. So their actions, their behaviors, their attitude is very based on emotional. And emotional is very illogical. It can really, when you, I don't know, act on emotion, it's very damaging in a lot of cases. So standing back, being more logical, being more thorough in what you do is a good thing. And I think in general, men who are masculine and control their emotion and know how to relegate their emotions correctly can also view other people and see if they're too emotional and tell them what they're doing wrong. Because again, being in an emotional state will a lot of times affect your decisions, affect your outcomes. So I think men who are masculine should be more voiceful in their, stance. Because again, men should mitigate risk and be logical and stand by their principles, morals, and boundaries. Yeah.